Here we are with Richardson Hitchins. Richardson, how are you?
What's up? How you doing? I'm good.
Richardson, talk to us about, first of all, how is your family doing? Is everybody okay as we continue to deal with COVID-19 here in the United States and throughout the world?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I wanted to ask you how your family's doing. Is everyone safe and sound as we're dealing with COVID-19 here in the United States and throughout the world?
Yeah, my family is safe. Everybody's good. I'm just grateful and blessed for that.
Now, what's it like for you on Saturday night to be in this co-main event position as you take on Argenis Mendez?
I just think that it's a grateful. I'm grateful for the opportunity to get the fight Argenis Mendez on Saturday night. He's a former world champion, and it just shows that my hard work has been paying off. You know, just to get this opportunity with such little experience and at a young age, I think that it just shows a testament to my skills and what type of level I'm on, and I think I'm ready for this moment.
What have you learned? You've been a pro for over 3 years. You were a 2016 Olympian. What have you learned over the course of your professional career that you feel will help you out for your matchup on Saturday?
I learned a lot through the years, just about the sport, being smarter. You know, in the amateurs, it's all about a quick pace and knowing how to win, just doing things to know how to win. But the pros, it's more about taking your time. You got 10 to 12 rounds. You know, I don't have to rush. It just because if I'm losing one round, I don't got to rush and try to get it right back. You know, I can take my time and systematically break my opponent down, and just learning things like that. It's always been more about just growing as a fighter, being smarter. I always had the fundamental tools. Nobody had to show me how to throw a jab or throw a hook. I just had to get smarter in the pros.
Is it interesting or a hard habit to break that you can, you don't have to start as fast and you don't have to get that round back and you can take your time and be more deliberate in your pacing?
Yeah, I got more of a professional style. I always had more of a professional style. I wasn't a guy that was going to go out there and throw like a billion punches and all that. Anyway, I was more of a guy that's a sharpshooter and just always going to take my time and break my opponent down. And I think that that's why I've been very successful in the pros.
Also, Richardson, I know you spent some time out in Las Vegas working at the Mayweather Boxing Club, and Floyd Mayweather has given you some quality information. What was that experience like?
It was a great experience, because I looked up to Floyd. That's what made me really want to get into boxing, and just to be side by side with him. Taking me to his house, watching boxing with me, talking to me about boxing there every day while I'm sparring, coaching me. I'm going back to his house at night and he's telling me what am I doing wrong. It was just a blessing opportunity. A lot of people in boxing wish they can have that, and I was fortunate enough to have one of the best in my corner, and I'm just grateful for that, and I'm just happy just to be able to work with Floyd.
The one thing about Floyd that I notice in regards to speaking with him over the years and watching his career and being around him is that Floyd has such an eye for detail. As they say, the devil is in the details. Do you feel, I'm sure that's something that he's preached and instilled upon you?
He basically preached to me to be a pure boxer. He told me you're a pure boxer and stick to boxing, stick to being a pure boxer. You're not a slugger. You got tremendous defense and you a pure boxer. So that's what he just always just preached to me, like telling me, basically the less punishment you take in the sport of boxing, the longer you last, and that's what it's about. And that's what he just always preached to me.
But you're only 23 years of age, is it hard sometimes when someone's coming forward at you and they're trying to test your will? And you're like, man, I really want to just plant my feet and just go toe-to-toe in the ring and show this guy what I'm about?
Yeah, I matured quicker because, I've been around a lot of top fighters, and I can learn from their mistake and see what they do good and what they do bad. And before, when I first was coming up, I wanted to get everybody out. I wanted to be, I kind of wanted to be a heavy hitter like Gervonta Davis. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to knock people out like that, but that's not me. That's not who I am. I'm a winner and I'm a boxer. So, but maturity just came out more of my patience and just being more smarter as a fighter. So that's all me and my coach has been working on in the gym, just being more smarter. and just tweaking, like you said, little details. My coach also, he has a strong eye for detail, so that's his main strong suit, perfecting the little things. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I know you mentioned Gervonta Davis. Gervonta's also been instrumental with you and giving you some advice. What's that like, being around the super featherweight and the lightweight champion of the world, and getting words of wisdom from him?
It's a cool experience because me and him, we both young and we both chasing greatness. We both trying to do big things in the sport and take it to a certain level. So we push each other. We push each other each and every day. You know, just mentally and physically. You know, trying to just push each other. And he gave me a lot of advice. You know, just about the pros and just certain things. You know, just to get smarter. You know, one of the main things he always preached to me is, you're not supposed to get hit with shots you ain't supposed to get hit with. And that stuck with me. You get what I'm saying? So he always giving me advice, and he's always there by my side. So I'm like I said, I'm appreciative and blessed for that.
I read that you said in regards to your toughest fight being that against Kevin Johnson. What did you learn in that fight?
I learned a lot with Kevin Johnson. Kevin Johnson wasn't an easy guy. It wasn't an easy guy to fight because he was game. He was real game. He was real game. He had a lot of athleticism, a lot of quickness with him, and he had a good game plan. You know, I just think that I was the better boxer. He was. I wouldn't say he was my toughest fight, but he brought out a few mistakes that I made. I think what I learned from that fight is just to always stay sharp from round one to the end, because Kevin Johnson in that fight, he came on late just because I was making technical errors. So he capitalized off that just because off my fatigue, and I think that it just showed me to be more in shape for not even be more in shape, be sharper in the later rounds.
So you're taking
and he was my first 10 rounder, so I think that's why I kind of fell asleep later in the rounds.
Okay, so you got comfortable is that what you're pointing to me? Is that you got a little comfortable?
Yeah, I got a little comfortable. You know, I was already leading, and I didn't have in the mind to stay sharp. You know, just stay sharp and to stay sharp. Cause he was trying to stay in the fight, and I gave him momentum just by, you know, he landed a few shots towards the end, and I just said, all right, to myself, I'm not gonna get hit with what he's throwing. And that's how I got away with the win. But if I would have stayed sharp, I think that I would have dominated the whole fight, because I think two of the judges gave him 3 rounds, and I think that he would have never won 3 rounds at that fight if I would have stayed sharp towards the end.
I got you. And also, Richardson, Argenis Mendez is a guy that he fought against one of your stablemates, Juan Heraldez. They fought to a split draw, and he's a tricky guy to deal with. Do you feel that this is an important step in your career to deal with the guy who's tricky, who's elusive, who can move, someone that stylistically not many people are clamoring to fight?
Yeah, he's a good boxer. He's a real good boxer. He's slick, like you said. He's slick and he's experienced. You know, he's composed in the ring. But I think that style is tailor-made for me, because when it comes to a chess match and boxing, it's extremely hard to beat me at that in that game. And I don't think that I highly doubt that Saturday Argenis Mendez is going to come to just box. You know what I'm saying? And either way he come, I think I'll be ready for it. He has a lot of experience, but I got a lot of experience also. So I think that, and I think also that Argenis Mendez in his long career in the lower weight classes at 130, he wasn't seeing too many slick boxers. He was seeing a lot of Mexicans and flat-footed guys. I think that Rances Barthélemy and probably I want to say Robbie Easter was probably the best boxers he fought. He really didn't see too many boxers. And I think that when he came up to 140, that's why he had success with Eddie Ramirez, because he was kind of that was a tailor-made for his style, like a flat-footed guy that he can outbox. But I think with me, it's a whole different style and it's a whole different approach. You know, I'm taller, I'm a tall fighter, I'm a long fighter, I'm a fast fighter, I got quick reflexes. So it's going to be a lot for him to deal with. So he has a lot of experience, but I don't think he has a lot of experience dealing with my style.
Well, you could do multiple things from what I've seen over the course of your young career. You can box, you can punch, you can mix it up on the inside. You're willing to fight tall. I think you have a variety of different things that are in your arsenal that to those who've never seen you fight, I'm sure at some point or another are going to witness that.
Yeah, a lot of people never seen all the things I do. I done in my short career so far. I done fought different styles. I done fought tall southpaws that can punch. I done fought quick guys. I done fought counter punches, and not even in the fights. In the gym also, the gym experience matters a lot too. I done been with all type of different styles, and I've been in there with big names. So I bring like you said, I bring a lot to the table. It's just not one thing. You know, I'm just not a guy that can jab and outbox and move. I can sit in the pocket with you. I can find the inside. I can bang with you. So, I mean, it's a lot. It's a whole package. You know what I'm saying? And I work every day just to be a complete fighter. So I think the world gonna get to see that Saturday night.
So, as Richardson, who are some of the guys that you've sparred with over the course of your young career?
I sparred with everybody. I sparred with Erickson Lubin. I sparred with Charles Conwell. I sparred with Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, Terrence Crawford, Sergey Lipnitz. Who else have I sparred with?
It's a really good group of names, man.
Yeah, I sparred with Eddie Gomez. I sparred with Carlos Adames, and all the guys that I'm naming that's at 154. None of them guys took it easy on me neither. That's that in sparring. Like, it wasn't a sparring. It was like I'm working with a 140 pounder. Like, Carlos Adames is a big puncher. He was trying to take my head off when I was like 4-0. I sparred Erickson Lubin, helped him get ready for the Charlie fight, and it was great sparring. Like, it ain't like these guys took it easy on me. Like, in sparring, like, I was really getting real quality work. So I learned a lot from them sparring, and I sparred a lot of heavy hitters too. So I got a lot of experience in the gym, and I think that me sparring the guys that were punchers that had skills, but they were punchers, gave me more experience because it was kind of similar to a fight because you don't want to get hit by them in sparring because they're heavy hitters. They could hurt you in sparring. So that also gave me a lot of experience sparring big punches in sparring. Well,
not only did it give you experience, but I'm sure it gave you quite a bit of confidence.
Yeah, it definitely gave me quite a confidence. I done been hit by big shots. Anybody can tell you in my whole boxing career from a kid, I ain't never been down, never been hurt. I could take a punch, I could give it, and I could take it. So I think that's one of the big strong suits about me. Also, I never been buzzed or nothing. So I mean, like I said, I just strive on trying to be the best fighter I can possibly be.
Well, also, Richardson, I want to go back to a situation because I've known you since even before you turned pro. And what is it like for you being on the same card as Chris Colbert, a guy that you kind of grew up with, because I remember being in a car before you turned pro with you and Chris Colbert and Chris Gilmore Jr. from Showtime and Fox. And you guys were just there. You guys were young, hungry guys talking about how you guys knew you were destined to be fighting on national TV, how you guys were going to get this money and be able to afford, these things that you guys wanted growing up. Is it crazy to think that in such a short amount of time, you went from that car ride talking about the things that you want to now things are getting easier for you and you're undefeated. You're the co-main event. Chris is in the main event.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, it's crazy, but it's not crazy to me because I always believed in my skills and my abilities. I think that in boxing, people are blessed with certain abilities, and that's what makes them special. And I think that me and Chris always had the God-gifted abilities, the speed, the power, the footwork, the elusive head movement. We had all them abilities to make us hard, big threats to deal with. And I think that's why we on this level, being able to fight here. So I think that it's just a blessing. Like I said, I always knew that we both was talented. We both was gonna go places in boxing, but for it to be here so soon is crazy. And we got much more to go. We got title shots, and we got world champions and other world champions to fight. So this is just the beginning of our young career. So we just gotta stay focused, stay in the gym, and just keep grinding.
Richardson, when you saw him win that title, that world title in January, did that motivate you even that much more?
Yeah, when he won the title, I was definitely motivated. I was definitely motivated when he won the title because for him to be, like I said, Chris experienced everything before me. Like he's like a year older. So Even in the amateurs, he would be the one to go to the nationals before me. He would be the one to go to do the Golden Gloves before me. And now he's the one to beat his first he's the one that won his first world title before me and beat a champion, a guy that was former world champion. So that's dope too. And he also fought his last fight. That guy he fought was also a crafty, tricky veteran like Argenis Mendez, very slick, very crafty. So he definitely motivated me, and he pushes me, you know, because I'm competitive. So I want to outdo the person on my left and my right, and I want to outdo myself. So
does he give you advice and stuff? Do you kind of look at him somewhat like slightly an older brother? I mean, you guys are similar in age, but do you look at him somewhat like an older brother?
Nah, I just look at him like a brother because he has experience, but I have a lot of experience too. So I don't think it's nothing that he ever seen that I haven't seen, and I have a strong pedigree. You know, from the amateurs to the Olympics, things that he haven't also done. You know what I'm saying? I went to the Olympics. He didn't get to go to the Olympics. I fought in Olympic trials. He decided to turn pro before getting them type of experience. So it's certain experiences that I have that he don't have. So I think that he's just somebody that, you know, it's just two brains working together. If he sees something, he'll probably tell me like, "Yeah, you can do this," or "This is what you need to do and keep doing it." And if I see something, I will help him out. But we always been like that since young kids.
So I've heard two different schools of thoughts when it comes to the Olympics. I've heard of guys that are happy that they turned pro earlier than what technically they should have to be able to sort of get a jump on their pro careers. And I've also heard guys like you who are glad they went to the Olympics, who felt that helped them out. What was the Olympic experience like for Richardson Hitchins?
The Olympic experience, I was glad that it happened because it taught me how to deal with the big stage. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people was watching over. Everybody was watching me in the Olympics, you know, just getting ready for the fight, just making it to the Olympics. It was crazy. Seeing all the different styles, even the tournament to qualify for Olympics, fighting overseas. It was seeing different styles and fighting guys that been to previous Olympics and are older and knowing that they're number one in their whole country. It gave me the confidence to know that I could deal with any style and deal with different type of guys. So I knew it gave me confidence in my abilities as a boxer.
Richardson, you've also been a part of some big cards at Barclays Center. You know, a lot of them off TV fights, but being a part of big events like that at Barclays Center, working with, you know, Floyd, also Leonard Ellerby, who knows the business very well, the CEO of Mayweather Promotions. I'm sure that being a part of those events have helped you get ready for this television opportunity on Saturday night against Argenis Mendez on Showtime Championship Boxing. Yeah,
it definitely got me ready to go out there and box Argenis Mendez because, you know, just dealing with the pressures outside of the ring. When you fight at home and the big cards, everybody want to come see you, is in your hometown, you know, and everybody's tuning in because it's on big cards. So like you said, it definitely helped me like get ready for this moment. But now I got the experience. Now I'm moving on to the contender stage of my life, and I'm happy about that.
Also, Richardson, you are very proud of representing Brooklyn, New York. What does Brooklyn mean to you?
I'm a proud. You know, I represent Brooklyn. I also represent Haitian descent. I'm also Haitian, so I represent my Haitian people in Brooklyn. Brooklyn means a lot to me because, you know, there's a lot of talent that comes from Brooklyn, and just our aura and just everything about Brooklyn is just different. And for Brooklyn to have a young talented guy like me represent him in the sport of boxing, I think it's dope. It's something that that's kind of is fresh. We got a new fresh young face represent Brooklyn. It's dope, and we got a lot of different talent coming from Brooklyn also. So it's just great being from Brooklyn, you know, overcoming them obstacles like growing up as a kid. It made me stronger, it made me tougher, it made my skin thicker. So you know.
Well, you represented Haiti in the 2016 Olympics. What has the response been like down there for you? I'm sure they're amped up to watch you on Saturday.
Yeah, all my Haitian fans, all my Zos, they support me 100% all over social media. You know, a lot of young fighters that's Haitian, they also support me and you know, just show me love. So it's dope, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just dope to be doing these things, and like I said, it's just I just want to keep doing it and just keep striving for greatness.
I believe Andre Berto's Haitian as well, right? If I'm correct on that.
Yeah, he actually was on that page for me to go to Olympics. He paid.
Oh,
for me to go,
really?
yeah, he paid for me to not to go to Olympics. He paid for me to go to the tournament to qualify. To qualify, it was a tournament in Russia, and he paid for me to get to that tournament to try to qualify for the Olympics. And his money didn't go to waste because I qualified.
Do you still talk to Andre to this day?
Yeah, we still talk. We DM each other and all type of stuff. You know, he still keeps up with my career and stuff.
So has he told you anything about getting ready for that big stage? I mean, he fought Floyd, a promoter on pay-per-view. I mean, I think that's pretty awesome that you have, Floyd giving you advice and Andre Berto with what he's been able to do with his philanthropic efforts.
Yeah, we don't really talk about boxing, but he just still supports me. Like, he don't really give me no advice about boxing. We don't have like that deep of a relationship, but it's all love, and he just supports my career. I'm pretty sure he's happy for me, and yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
Also, Richardson, being able to fight, it's going to be different. You typically fight at Barclays Center and different venues, fans in attendance. Have you and Chris talked about what it's going to be like fighting in front of no fans, Mohegan Sun Arena? We're dealing with COVID-19, being in the bubble.
Nah, I really didn't think about that. You kind of just bring that to my attention just now. I didn't really think about it.
I'm sorry about that.
Nah, I really didn't think about it, but I think I seen all the other fighters do it, so I'm kind of like mentally probably just gonna visualize it and be ready for it. But I think it's gonna be like an intense sparring match. That's probably what I think it's gonna feel like.
Well, has training camp been any different with all the precautions that you've needed to take? Or, I mean, you seem to be a pretty tight-knit guy where you keep things you have a small group around you at all times. But has training camp been any different for you?
Training camp wasn't no different. Training camp wasn't no different. We just tried to stay safe. Stayed in the gym. I stayed in the gym. I told myself if I was gonna get COVID, hopefully I get in the gym, not get it outside, being somewhere else. So I was rather get in the boxing gym. So I just stayed in the gym. I stayed focused, and we just stayed. Just took the precautions. My sparring partners was getting tested. I got tested. So I wasn't trying to be around too many people like during COVID. Just like you said, keeping my circle tight and just focusing on the mission.
So what's it like fighting on Premier Boxing Champions, being a part of, this outstanding group of fighters and the roster and the names that are a part of PBC?
I think it's dope. It's dope to be up there with Premier Boxing got a lot of talent. I'm one of the talents is the guys like Christopher Colbert, and then we trying to get to the elite level with the Errol Spencers and all them top guys, up in the elite level. So that's what we striving for. Just basically, it just shows us, sky's is the limit.
Do you have your eyes set on anybody at 140?
I think that a big fight with me and Mario Barrios at the end of 2021 would be a huge fight. He's young, I'm young. He's undefeated, I'm undefeated. He got a belt, and I want the belt. So I think that would be a huge fight if I keep winning and getting past who's in front of me.
So you want Barrios before even your 15th fight?
Yeah, by the end, yes. But I think by my 15th fight, me and Mario Barrios would be a great fight.
And also, Richardson, for people who have never watched you fight, Saturday night when they settle in to watch Showtime Championship Boxing and you make that walk to the ring against Argenis Mendez, what can they expect?
Smart boxing. I'm not a sharpshooter. I can bring any different style. It can be an all-out war with me and Mendez, or it can be an early night. It can be an early night, or it can be a slow beat, and it can go so many ways. But I know that I will come out with my hands raised, victorious, and it's gonna be a fun night. It's gonna be fun to box, Argenis. Just to see. I want to see all the tricky, savvy veteran things that the world think I haven't seen before, which I feel like I've seen before somewhere. Out of all the years I've been boxing, all the stages I've been through in my boxing life, I felt like I seen a fight like Argenis Mendez. So I want to see what he brings to the table.
And finally, what do you want to tell the boxing public out there as we close out what has been a difficult 2020 in the world and looking forward to 2021?
I just want the boxing world to tune in Saturday night. It's going to be a great fight. It's going to be a great fight, exciting fight. It's a great card. You got me. This is my coming out party. It's the biggest fight in my career. You got Chris Colbert defending his belt, and it's going to be a great fight, exciting night of boxing. It's just about giving the sport excitement, and this is what gives the sport excitement. Two young fighters, fresh fighters that the world can start, getting more familiar with, and it starts with Saturday night.
You guys are the next group, Richardson. You and Chris are that next group, that next tier, and you definitely have destiny in your own two fists.
Yes, we're the next group. We the guys that they're saying that's next. So I believe it. A whole lot of people believe it, just to show the rest of the non-believers that they should start believing also.
Richardson, thanks so much for your time. Safe travels to Mohegan Sun. We look forward to seeing you on Saturday night.
All right, thank you. Appreciate you.